having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Everyone's favourite experiment is back in the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. If you thought the animated mayhem they caused was bad, you should see what they're up to in this one. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Can we trade Farrah for Stitch? Oh, God. Oh, God. That's going to become a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dear God.
Hey, folks. Today, we're going to talk about Lilo and Stitch. It's the story of a lonely Hawaiian girl and a fugitive alien who helps to mend her broken family. That is a very short description, but let's go ahead and dig in.
Yeah, I mean, so confession, never actually saw the first one.
Yeah, I didn't see the first movie either. I'm familiar with the cartoon that was on Saturday mornings because my mom introduced me to Lilo and Stitch.
There was a cartoon on Saturday mornings?
Yeah, a long time ago, and my mom loved it. She was like, oh, you have to watch it. It's so cute. And that's how I know Lilo and Stitch. So I didn't see the first movie either.
I just knew it was a movie. Though it doesn't surprise me because, like I said, I worked at Disney, and let me tell you, Stitch is probably one of the top 3 most pin-collected characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a Disney character.
Yeah.
Has that always been the case, or did Disney buy that?
No, he's
always been Disney?
Yeah, he's always been Disney.
Huh. So in short, our story here... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they're still behind Jessica Rabbit.
Really?
Yeah, sadly, that is probably one of the most collected.
Huh. I don't know if that's sadly. That's part of our history. Movie history.
Yeah, but you know why they're collecting it.
Because they have sick, wet dreams about Jessica Rabbit?
Yes.
Ew. Ah! Okay, so our backstory here is that 626, a neighboring area code of ours.
Yeah, the area code. I couldn't hear that without thinking that the area code.
Yeah, is a creature that was built by evil scientists on some other planet.
We don't know that he was evil.
Well, he built him to be destructive and overall menace and...
Well, is Boeing evil?
I don't think anyone built Boeing to destroy things.
Well, they built plenty of things for the military.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so this creature is then deemed by the government of that planet to be a menace to society and needs to be...
not exterminated, but exiled.
Exiled. So the creature, 626, gets loose, makes his way to Earth, and eventually finds himself hanging out with a 6-year-old Lilo, who is staying with her, living with her older sister after their parents died. And the older sister is struggling, barely keeping it together, and then this chaos.
Yeah, she's like 18.
Yeah. So Lilo brings in 626, who has disguised himself as a dog, a blue dog, but still a dog. And 626 then proceeds to just create even more chaos in these 2 young girls' lives.
That is like no dog breed I have ever seen.
Yeah. So
But I still want it.
yeah. So eventually, Lilo names 626 Stitch, hence Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
And they also have a social worker who is checking in on them, realizing that they are struggling, not paying bills, don't have health insurance, and the older sister, Nani, is just barely keeping it together.
I feel like there's a Hawaiian crew of actors. And it's just when we need someone Hawaiian, like, yep, call the crew.
Did you see someone you knew?
Oh yeah, I saw several people that I'm like, yep, I've seen them in other movies as a random Hawaiian character.
Oh, I didn't know that. So anyway, so obviously digging into some what would you do here's. Obviously, we have the older sister trying to maintain custody of her 6-year-old sister. We have a social worker who is intervening. We have Lilo, who is 6 years old and hell on wheels as she just creates chaos wherever she goes. And she also screams, which is now my new obsession with screaming. Ah! Sorry, guys. And we have an FBI agent who wants to catch the aliens, but then somehow eventually warms and will keep the alien secret.
Yes. Let me see. If I were any of the characters, I would get the portal gun.
Yeah. So they're trying. The original scientist who built 626 comes down to Earth along with someone else who is an Earth fan, pretty much, and they disguise themselves as humans. And one of the tools they have to capture and bring back 626 is they have this gun that creates portals where you can, go from one area to another area.
I have questions about the portals.
Okay.
Does it work like the game Portal, or is it?
I don't know the game Portal.
Okay, so in Portal, you basically have a red portal gun or orange portal gun and a blue portal gun.
Is this a Matrix thing?
No, it's just a game.
Okay.
It's where you learn.
You were talking
it's where
about
you
two
learn
different
that
colors.
the cake is a lie. Yeah, I know. I'm going to further complicate it, but you basically have to shoot the orange and the blue, and then you can pass through one to the other.
Okay. I didn't realize this was going to turn into a portal gun lesson.
Well, so originally I thought that's what it was when they shot the floor and shot the ceiling and he started falling.
Uh-huh.
And the refrigerator, I'm like, that's Portal. That's exactly what they would do in Portal. But then I got very confused at the end how somehow they were able to open a portal from Hawaii to San Diego.
From San Diego to Hawaii. Yeah, I when they did that, I didn't understand why Nani just didn't go back through it. But I am certainly not qualified to discuss portal travel here. So
yeah, like how did they get the portal in? Like, did they go there, shoot a portal in San Diego, and then come back, and then just like they can shoot a portal whenever they like? I don't know how that works. Presumably, there was only one portal gun. I have so many questions.
Yeah, that's apparent. So let's go ahead and talk about some what would you do. So if I was Nani, the older sister, and my 6-year-old sister brought home a air quote dog from the animal shelter that was blue, and then she starts to question, I don't even really know if this is a dog. I don't know if I would just say that in passing and then just go about what I was doing of like, I don't know if this is really a dog. If someone brought a blue creature into my life and I had doubts about it being a dog, I don't think that would just be something I said in passing. I think I'd kind of look into that.
I mean, you'd still try to rescue it.
Yeah, but I at least want to know. I at least want to know what we're dealing with here. So we also have Lilo, who is a 6-year-old that she's a handful. And
she is.
She seems unnecessarily ostracized by the other children around her. I didn't quite understand why they called her weird and they pushed her and everything. But she seemed, other than being a handful in other circumstances, there was nothing she did with any of those kids I thought was inappropriate. And when she shoved that one little girl who shoved her first,
Oh yeah, but let me tell you, I know from watching the NFL, it's always whoever does the second one that gets flagged. The first one doesn't get seen, but the second one does.
Yeah, she definitely got screwed on that one. Some mean little girl pushes her while they're doing their little luau dance, and she pushes them back, and then she gets in trouble.
Lilo needs to learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.
Well, she's 6, so I think she has many years to perfect that. So
everyone should perfect that.
Basically, Lilo is a little human tornado who then adopts a little alien tornado, and between the two of them, chaos ensues.
Yeah. Stitch, man, you think dogs eating everything is bad. Stitch eats freaking everything.
Yeah, what would I do if I was Lilo, though, and I didn't have any friends, check, and I was at a dog shelter, check, and this little blue creature wanted to come back home with me. Is it the purge? Is the purge starting? Is that what that is?
Yes, the purge has started.
All crimes, including murder, are legal. So yeah, if I was in the shelter and this adorable little blue creature wanted to come home with me because I had wished upon a star, which was actually a rocket ship, that I wanted a friend who would love me and want to hang out with me, yeah, I would do exactly what Lilo did.
Though I have to admit, I might have had a little trepidation at the concept that when you go in, he's in his cage, but his cage has clearly been busted out from the inside.
Yeah, there's a big old hole.
Like, he has jacked that thing open. And I'm like, that might be concerning.
Yeah, and of course, Lilo's first instinct is, hey, I want to find what busted out of here, because she sees what's happened, and she's such a little terror that she doesn't think, oh my gosh, something dangerous happened here, or I should tell someone. But, this is also a little girl who went to the animal shelter to feed the dogs candy. So
yeah, and
she just creates chaos wherever she goes. She's adorable.
I can relate to the whole go to the animal shelter, get an animal that's so cute, gets them back home, and just freaking goes nuts. And you're like, what did I just do?
Yeah, but Lilo turns out to be a really good friend to her. And the other thing is they've all seemed to realize that blue dog talks, and yet they're still kind of just going along with the flow. So
I mean, screw it. Why not speak?
But after creating a lot of problems and getting the older sister Nani fired, and it seems like Lilo has a heart-to-heart with Stitch, and was like, we've got to be good, and there's some tender moment shared there between Lilo and Stitch.
We gotta stop effing this up here.
And Lilo puts a flower lei on Stitch, and that kind of just seems to be like, wow, I'm family. So at that point, we realize that, wow, Stitch is actually settling into this family and is enjoying being part of it.
Yeah. It's hard enough sometimes.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Like integrating, a non-alien species.
Yeah.
And having an alien species who is a complete and total freak. Because that's the thing. He's cute. He's cuddly, he's adorable. He was built to destroy. Like, he was built to destroy things.
Well,
and he did a pretty good job of it in general.
Yeah.
Especially if there were glasses.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. Yeah. Saying, don't break these. And then he picks it up and knocks it down and breaks it. I left harder than the kids in the audience. Kind of like Dog Man. I think I laughed louder than the children in the group. But I think it's a good reminder of the impact of environment and the people that you spend time with, because although 626 was built to be a creature of mass destruction, he softened and he started to love this little girl and this little family and wanted to be with them.
Oh, that's kind of how it usually works with rescues. They eventually soften.
Sometimes. I mean, I'm sure he was still a little hellion, but at that point, he won him over. Oh, okay. I have a what would you do?
There's your nature versus nurture.
So there is a crash in the water when the spaceship crashes, and Lilo and Stitch are in it, and they go crashing into the ocean, and they are both in the bottom of the ocean, and Nani goes running into the ocean, and David goes running into the ocean to save them, and Lilo starts to go to the surface and take Stitch with her, but he's too heavy and she can't do it. So she tries twice, and then finally she goes up to the surface again, and her sister Nani sees her and starts grabbing her to rescue her, and Lilo is screaming, no, you've got to grab Stitch, she's down there. And the sister, Nani, says, we gotta go. There was no we gotta go.
Yeah, why you gotta go?
It's not like there was paratroopers, shooting at you.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Why you gotta go?
You got time in your hands, but that little hag was like, no, we gotta go, and Lilo's crying and yelling that you gotta get Stitch, and then finally, what precipitated her to go back? I can't remember.
Guilt.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so, yeah,
she yelled like, no one left behind.
Oh, yeah. So Lilo finally screams basically what their family motto has been from their parents who are deceased of, no one left behind. And then Nani was like, oh, okay, fine. No one left behind, and goes back into the water to rescue Stitch. What a hag. Are you serious? We gotta go? No, you don't gotta go. It's not like Lilo was unconscious and you had to rush her to the hospital or anything. She was coherent. She was yelling. She was talking. There was no we gotta go.
Also, speaking of rushing to the hospital, which kind of precipitated a lot of this, the first time when she got pulled out of the ocean and she was kind of, boys and girls, if she gets to the point where she's coughing and like able to spit out water, you don't need to go to the hospital after that. Yeah. You're good. Now, if she's unconscious, maybe, though she's probably dead before you get there.
Yeah, our 18-year-old substitute mom
who didn't have health insurance.
Yeah, makes a lot of bad calls during this. What would I do if I was the caretaker of my 6-year-old sister and she was fine and her beloved pet was drowning in the ocean? I would save the beloved pet. Also, too, to your point, if I wouldn't necessarily, if I'm already under financial duress, take an unnecessary hospital visit when everything's fine. So that's also what lifeguards are for, and they can help with that too.
Yeah, I just was like, girl, I
mean, if they were trying to make a realistic 18-year-old, I guess they did, because you only have so much capacity for good judgment when you're 18.
They coughed off to the hospital.
Yeah, I remember in college, one of my roommates, her boyfriend, I don't know, something happened. I can't remember. It wasn't a huge deal, but she called the ambulance to take him to the hospital, not realizing that they charge for that, just thinking it was a community service, and then got hit with this whopping ambulance bill after that. So that was a wake-up call. I think that was a 20-year-old decision at that time.
Yeah, I think I've been in 2 ambulances in my life, and both was mostly because of a technicality. One when I got hit by a car at Disney. Oh, no. No, the hit by the car wasn't one. I actually had chest pains. I had like horrible chest pains. Like I thought I was having a cardiac event.
Thought you were a goner?
Yeah, it turned out it was not. It was just like gas, I think, or something.
It sometimes is.
It was not a cardiac event.
Well, that's an unfortunate circumstance to incur a large bill over gas.
Well, luckily didn't have to incur the bill because it was while I was working at Disney.
Ah, okay.
And the other one was when I was in Baltimore and I got kidney stones. I wandered into a Kaiser to get help, but note that Kaisers are very regional, and if you are not in, like, we're Kaiser SoCal, and if you're not in SoCal, your Kaiser, you might as well be in fucking Timbuktu. And so they literally were like, we can't help you. We'll have you transported to another hospital where they're like, we have to transport you in an ambulance. We don't have any other, we're not allowed to do it any other way. I'm like, I mean, it's kidney stones, but you don't have to ambulance me, but whatever.
So the other one of the things that I referenced earlier with the screaming is initially the movie starts where Lilo is late for her luau recital, and she screams. And I thought she just screamed because she was late. Ah! I'm not screaming as loud as I want to, folks. So I'm like, oh, that's cute. But then this is something she does. Like anytime something happens or she's excited, like they're in the car and then all of a sudden she screams, ah! It's because she thought of naming the dog Stitch. So this is something I'm going to, what would you do? What would you do is implement this in your very own real life and have a good time. I would like to note that she was 6. Just throwing that out there. And she was 6. I firmly believe in returning to childhood habits because we were less filtered and jaded as children. So yeah, well, as the person who lives under the same roof with you, I don't know so much about that.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here. And you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.